Hey there folks, and welcome to the first 600 SP tryouts of Gr.4 7. In the 600 SP tryouts, I am doing the Dodge Viper Grade 4. So yeah, here's the parts for the Dodge Viper Grade 4 race car. But yeah, just oil change in advance, so that's why it's showing normal right now. Because I haven't oil changed just yet. But yeah, here's all the parts you can buy and stuff, which is not a whole lot, because I will say when it comes to race cars, you don't really able to buy parts. Matter of fact, some of these parts that say purchase, you already had those. So I don't even know why it even says that to begin with, but it just so happened does. Yeah, that's basically all you can basically do to the Viper Grid 4 at the end of the day, which is not a whole lot. You can make it into a drift car, I guess. Then again, they also did a drift event with the Mustang, so you know. I recall that was terrible. But to say though, yep, you got your V10 Viper just detuned though, because I will say at stock I think it's supposed to be a lot more horsepower than that at the end of it and such. Now onto the cosmetic parts, which same problem with the upgrade parts, not much you can do. 18-inch rims, some standard rims here and there. But if you put some customs, which I kind of should, because I gotta say those default ones are kind of ugly, you can lower the inches just a bit. So I will note when I do that, I have to change the performance. So I'm debating on that. Then again, because yeah, that's the problem when you shrink the rims and stuff. But yeah, here's the tune setup for the Viper at the end of the day, which I had to raise the bike height a little bit to prevent it from being so narrow when it comes to turn, because it breaks loose if you so happen to turn more than you should, which even if I did that, still does it. It's a problem. My only guess, probably the weight balance at the end of the day, or weight balance. But yeah, I also did a twist to this setup too. I also did a manual transmission to the regular transmission, because there is some cases where the manual transmission is better than the race transmission provided too. Is the crazy part. Which I'm not sure what to say about that. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Very interesting on that part, but yeah. So now on to the next bit here. In case anyone who wants the vinyl, you can have the vinyl as much as you want. So yeah, there you go. As such. So the Dodge Viper is a very interesting case when it came to racing sports, considering if we talk about really old ones, you know, the notorious one is the Dodge Viper Team Orica, the GT7. That was that one. And then you have the Japan Grand Touring Championship, which I believe is the bad part is I'm not sure what that Viper is called at the end of the day. I'm trying to figure that one out, but yeah, it is what it is. The Viper has interesting race heritage, so when it came to the Grade 4, no less, it has a Grade 4 one, which is really odd because it's detuned and kind of not the same, to be honest. If I had to say preference handling, I would still go with the regular production car at the end of the day, but that's just how it is at the end of the day. Now, I will say race cars are going to be a little bit different than production cars, so like especially the times here are going to be definitely different about that and such. Like example, I could say like these are most likely going to be D ranks of times. So nah, their real purpose was made in mind for the 600 WTC Tokyo Expressway clockwise than anything else, to be honest. Oh yeah, I gotta mention something about the wiki, because I did look into it a little bit, and there was some special colors to be said about, say, on the Viper. 2 other special colors to mention. I mean, one of the colors is an obvious color, you'll know, because of Gran Turismo technically did this, which was very special in terms of Dodge Vipers, was the GTS Blue, because I will say that when it came to the GTS Blue, it is a weird scenario, because the race car was never a blue, but Gran Turismo, you know, tried to go for that blue at the end of it, and such. Also, I think I realized what that Japanese one was called. I think it's called Speed Viper or something like that. But yeah. Anyways, so they had a GTS Blue that was unnamed apparently, and then they also had a very special one that I might do in the future for an alt perhaps, which is a Matisse Purple. So it was supposed to have a Matisse Purple, and then they also mentioned a red. I'm assuming maybe a savory red like this instead of the Viper red. The very bland red that they have. I'm hoping that's the case, but you know, others would say that's basically much I could say about the Gr.4 Viper at the end of the day. And as of when it comes to also talk about when it comes to Gr.4 and stuff, I'm just gonna say advance that Gr.4 cars are not super great in this league at the end of the day. I mean, I tried as much as I could, but it is what it is. So, just to say that Volkswagen Scirocco you just saw back there, that thing's only hitting 500 pp, and the reason why it's hitting 500 pp is because every time during custom race, no matter what, they will slap on race hard tires. So, just to say, that's why. That's why he's set so far back in the PP, because we'll do 550. The thing is, they still catch with you throughout this course, which I'm not surprised. When you compare race hard tires to sports hard tires, it's night and day. There we go, 115.241, which, yeah, just to say, I already did the best time already upon the third lap. Yeah, third lap here. Because, yeah, when it comes to getting the best times of these cars, it's going to be the most conflicting possible. I could get immediately right then and there, or I could get later. It really depends on how the car enables me to do. Because that's just the fun part when it comes to great race, or when I say race cars, I mean the modern race cars. Older race cars, you have much more leeway. This, no. You need to, like, really time your turns and stuff to get the most out of it at the end of the day. It really requires a lot of skill when it comes to driving these newer race cars. Is it kind of a crapshoot? It's that way. By balance of terms, it has to be this way. It's the worst part. I mean, there's probably a lot of ways to say that, yeah, it doesn't have to be this way. I kind of hope that's the case. But yeah. That seems to be the case. So at the end of it, so that these cars have to be functionality like this for the balance of terms. Yeah, here's the actual proper time, which is the 114.557, which in terms, in case you're wondering, by a Gr.4 600 pp to a regular 600 pp, that is as fast as a Clio. Which, as I said about Clio, it's kind of a C car, so I'm just going to say a majority of these Gr.4s are going to hit Cs. Just saying that now, because the Viper is a kind of a high standard in terms of the Gr.4 cars in terms of performance I've done. But now onto the balance track, that is the Dragon Trail. The Dragon Trail is one fun track, basically for balance means. But, yeah, the reason why I did this is because in mind I thought, you know, what if you try Gr.4 in the 600 pp racing? And the result is it's not bad, but it's also not great. It's just okay or good. The exception is when we get to the all-wheel drive ones, because yeah, they are just night and day difference. However, there is a reason why they hit this kind of grade of C and D's, because they're high fuel mileage. But just to say, you most likely won't have to pit at all when you drive these during the 600 WTC, and that's kind of what they're really made in mind for racing can be a possibility with the all-wheel drive ones, but when it comes to the sprint ones for these cars is a D mostly. It debatably can at the end of the day. And you're gonna see an example much later at the near end of this video also. So I am gonna show in relation of the next car I'm gonna be doing for the 600 pp. I will know I'm gonna be jumping back and forth between the 600 and 650 pp because I was thinking about just doing 10 600 and then 10 650, but I don't know if that's a wise idea to do or not at the end of it. So I'm just gonna jump back and forth. I'm gonna technically do a different car for 650, and that's the one you're not gonna know just yet. But if you do want to know, 1 second here, I can go ahead and toss that. The next car for the 650 pp. Get the find it here. See, I have like a whole thing listed for this, just in case. If I haven't done it yet, it'll be the Silvia Q be next. The Silvia QS13 to be exact. Yeah, that'll be the next one. If I haven't done that. If I haven't done that, it'll be the Mini Cooper with the Honda motor. But yeah, that's basically what's coming up next on the plate. So, for those that were wondering about the 650 side, because I didn't really show a teaser for that, I kind of should have, but I might as well show a teaser for the 600 pp. Or 600 SP, I should say. Yeah, I call it 600 SP because, yeah, I don't know if I would be wise to put this with 600 pp, but I do have ideals for that. Because yeah, I might do a 600 pp versus 600 SP. I'm gonna put 10 cars versus 10 cars. You see how it goes at the end of the day. But as a, let's see the laps here, 154.152. That is slower than crap. That's definitely a D. Yeah, that's the problem, because I'm also debating if I should go with sports hard tires or not at the end of it, but I really shouldn't really say that at the end of it, but then again, that's what it is. The 152.389, that's pretty good. It's not terrible, it's okay. Yeah, in terms of, in case you want to know how much of a difference between a 600 pp to a 600 SP, very much different, because I know some cars have hit 149. Although, I will note, these facts are older than dirt though, something to note, because, and the reason why I say that is because this is like way past of updates and stuff. So these times could be different. So then the fastest car that went around Dragon Trail was the Skyline R34 Nerve. Yeah, 149.160, because so that's how much of a difference. And such. And then the Viper here just did a best lap of 152.262, but I did something even faster, so we shall see. Yeah, if I had to do a comparison, yeah, it's basically gonna be down. I would say around the 14th or 16th place in the current, compared to the OG 600 pp I did way back to this now. And that's the only unfortunate part. It's not that much better. But then again, like I said, there's a reason it's not that much better. It's because the high fuel mileage you get. Or high fuel distance you get. It's fuel distance insane, especially with this car. So I know this car is a butt of an enemy to deal with during the Le Mans 700 WTC, I recall. Because that guy can go through 3 laps with this car. Yeah, 151.790, which is not bad. Nothing too crazy, but not bad at the end there. So now onto the speed, which this is probably why throughout all the courses there, why the performance is not that great, is because my main focus is to get as much speed as you can get out of the car as possible. Which can be good or utterly bad, because it could harm the performance of the steering at the end of the day, but it is what it is. So that's that. That's the bum part. Okay, in terms of the fastest of 600 pp, it was the GT Twin Turbo 1991, the 207.395. Can this even hit those numbers? No. No. I'm just gonna swat you like a fly on that one. There'll be definitely no. At best, I'm just gonna say it's gonna be around 19th and 20th place on this, because this is where it hurts the hard. And I don't know why, because as much as the horsepower I punch in, like 530, that's still not really enough to some reason get the car faster than 180 miles per hour for some reason. It wants to fight back so hard. I don't know why. Must be just the internal design of the GT4 car at the end of the day and such. But yeah, this is basically what I'm gonna do with the GT4s for now. Maybe in the future I'll do probably 670, because yeah, here's the thing, they don't hit 700 pp unless you put mediums. That's the only way you're hitting that number. Otherwise, I would not recommend it. I will note, if you really want to, on top of it, while this is made in mind for 600 pp, you can turn around to slap some racing hard tires and have this too for 700 WTC too. It's efficient enough for that as well. Yeah, 211.279. It's pretty good. It beats the Clio, which was the 19th place, by the way. So at least beats that. Cause yeah, even the Clio has a struggle speed. I don't know what the issue at the end of it. I guess it's just a race skirt at the end of it. I guess that's the drawback of having a race skirt. Yeah, you get all that downforce, but the trade-off is it's not gonna be going faster on the straights. That's my thing. As it tries to chug its way there, basically. So, yeah, overall, when it comes to vinyl design, yeah, I love this vinyl design. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I add some additional lines. I basically remixed it overall. Gave it more of that Orica feel, which is funny enough. The vinyl is based off the Orica, even though it's more basic than that ever. So I had to add some flair to it. So yeah, I will say some of these race cars I'm adding flares, some of them I'm not. I'm gonna leave them as normal as they are. Concerning the next car. Next car I'm gonna leave for vinyl, because for vinyl wise it fits it pretty well. And now onto the S turn as usual. Let's go straight on down. Yeah, my biggest problem about this car is when you try to steer sometimes up a hill and stuff, it wants to not grab, so it just slabs it slides. It tries to slide out basically. It's my trip I was trying to give at the end of it. It slabs. I don't really know what that means. Yeah, 211.346. So not good enough, but dang well close. However, I did pull a miracle lap on this one though. This one, wow. I'm impressed about this one. How I did this one. So I don't even know how I did this one. Funny part. Yeah, onto the big old straightaway here. Cause yeah, in about 180, which in terms of speed, that's pretty okay in terms of the endurance race. Cause yeah, as long as you're hitting 180, you're pretty good. It's just the maneuverability part and the other, and your tire wear and your fuel stuff is the other big factors when it comes to that. And little endurance race for the WTC 600 of Tokyo East clockwise. because of our Cocoa Bun, which yeah, he's even more of a mess than ever. Because yeah, I recall like before the updates, he wasn't that much of a menace. Now he really is. He's like, I don't know what they've been doing. They've been just like tricking him here and there. Because just to say, if I'm ever getting some extra money, I'm just gonna slap some racing tires on and go to the 700 WTC tournament instead of the 600 one, because he's a piece of crap in that one. I'm just gonna say it now. Even though I did made this in mind to do the endurance race, I rather just do the 700 race because at least that's more funner to do. So crap stain who just outturns you and is broken. Again, I'll keep saying it. I'm not gonna back down that. He's more broken than ever. Even though the worst part is he's not technically the most broken one, because I know a more broken one from 600 WCC through the Michigan once after discovering about him, which is the RGT rough. That new rough they added, they did not detune that car whatsoever. It is as high performance as ever. So if you see that car on road, hopefully I'm saying this right, road Michelin or something like that. Road Atlanta. But yeah, 210.760. That is a punch, I gotta say. That is one heck of a punch of time there. So pretty good. Now the events it can do. Basically at best, just a world touring car because there is no dedicated events for race cars at all. Besides grade 4s and grade 3 dedication, that's it. Yeah, if you slap on race hard tires, you can most likely do these touring car ones too, without it, with the setup given. It's about 655 pp when you slap racing hard tires on, which is not bad. And I even did a quick tournament test just to see how well. It's not bad overall. It's about the same as the World Cup cars at the end of it, but they're 650 pp. If I'll bet, I would say a little bit slower, but that's actually fine because it has a high fuel mileage again. Because I will say these out fuel mileage the World Cup cars too, most of them. The only one I can think of that doesn't out fuel mileage is the Jaguar D-Type. Crazy ones like that and the Alpine A110 of 1972. But now onto the race, which yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna put half lap if it so happens to do it in one sitting or one go. Which I did have a bunch of contestants here and there, considering I have the GTR right behind my back, and Subaru 22B because he got quicker too through these updates too. He's much more quicker now. And the RE Mia, as you can see, as white rapper as he is, being a turd of a butt. The white turd, I gotta say, Jesus Christ. But yeah, just to say from before of Road Atlanta, yeah, beware of that RGT, because oh my god. I thought the Galador was broken. Nah, take that back, the RGT's more broken than ever. That rough RGT is so broken. So broken. Yeah, now trying to get to the RE which at best I'm getting around the corners, which is kind of funny when he's made in mind for that, but you know, that's just funny stuff to say. Yeah, eventually he'll submit too, because I know the NSX already did, because he always does. Because yeah, while he's got all that power, he just, you know, burns through his tires like no tomorrow. Although I will say very efficient though. Because he burns like 5 laps. If he was a bit more efficient, the setup would be perfect, I would think. But yeah, I don't think fuel's the problem. I think for that one. So now to chase after this RE which my only problems, of course, when I say 180 is kind of a D when it comes to straights and stuff, so it's kind of a problem for this guy because he hits about 187. Another reason why he's kind of a bit broken and why I think his tires should be burned like a mother effer, but you know. Yeah, I got these other two, because yeah, it's kind of funny to see the 22B after being a contestant this time around. Kind of shocks me big time. You got the Super RZ too. But then again, if I recall, when you bring a car like this that does like one go basically, the AIs do panic upon that. Just to say, and it's very funny when it does. Oh yeah, and another reason why I say his tires should burn like a mother effer, because look, if the Honda NSX is burning like no tomorrow, that should kind of burn like no tomorrow. Although, I'll admit about one thing, or one crucial thing, is that the tire wear on that car is not that bad, because I think the car is made in mind to be based around GT4 specs is the funny part, so, I mean, they got it. So, I can't really crap on that at all. So, consider that a good job. It's just really broken as a result. And it's not the tune itself its fault, it's how Gran Turismo tuned it at the end of the day. I know this is in like 650 pp. No ifs or buts to that. Yeah, 6 laps going around this track once again. Feels like old times. So it's definitely tougher because now I have to deal with them. For sure. Although not for long, until eventually he's gonna give here. I know the GTR is about to give though. Not surprised. I will say it is kind of still weird that he drives the GTR instead of the Nismo. That's the one thing I'm just gonna keep bringing up every time. It's just kind of weird. Like all these other contestants here, because yeah, they really at least they kind of reworked the opponents a little bit more, make them more up in pace. So, although still made our Kokobun the most broken one possible as a result. I gotta say, especially with that rubber band. That rubber band just kicks in the high gear. Got Mr. Yellow, which yeah, he just won the fastest time possible, which I'm not surprised. He usually does. You got 8C and you got a Mercedes. Cause yeah, if I recall, it feels like the whole roster got a bit quicker and such. But yeah, by the way, this is one of those cases where the hard mode was flipped on. So even if you weren't doing this on hard mode, you're still doing it on hard mode. So I recall doing this. I recall flipping the hard mode on. It literally felt the same. But very changed, and that's the cat just smacked my door. Yeah, now to basically just outpace this RX-7 for a good while. WRX getting passed by the R8 here. Yeah, overall, if I have to say when it comes to the Viper Grade 4 though, I have to say definitely a B for endurance. Because this is the special factor, at least the Grade 4s have in mind. Because I do consider Grade 4 as one of the worst racing groups, basically. I only consider it the worst because it has the higher up cars. So if they didn't have those higher up cars, I wouldn't crap on it that much. But I consider them kind of worse because of their, I would say, speed performance. But fuel performance is insane though. Heck, it's even better in GT3s. This is which I'm not surprised. GT3s are supposed to be quicker and more aerodynamic too. But Grade 4s are just kind of basically sometimes. It wasn't until I discovered about the 600 pp. I was like, oh, you know, that actually makes them more interesting. And then also then I discovered 550 pp for cup race in the future, which is even better. Because it's not too far off, basically. Yeah, there's the RE Yamamiya, he has pit, so thus is a victory time. There is no way they're catching me at this point. Yeah, he just refilled his tires at the end. Yeah, he's half fuel. You know, he burned the fuel. It's funny part. And of course the NSX is back up there. It's like, who cares? The NSX is just there. It's just there. Yeah, he's not pulling like really crazy times. He's pulling like okay. So I recall Mr. Gao doing like 208 or something like that. No, 206 I believe. This ain't crazy. This is normal. Which I'm not surprised because the lap times I'm doing here are not that good to begin with. Because reminder, when I'm doing those time trials, the wind's off, and when the wind's on, that might affect it big time. I can't say like guarantee, but I'll be surprised if it didn't affect me on that part. So this driver's victory at the end of the day. So yeah, to say though, at the end of the day, rank B for endurance, but for when it comes to no fuel sprint races that these races offer, D, because even as an FR or MR too, because I will say even MRs are not much better. For some reason, their performance is not that crazy or great, and I don't know why. I'm not really sure why, besides tires and stuff. But if I put it on the medium tires, it would not be that great because then they probably can't do this in one go. So I will say the burn factor is much different. Much different between two sets of tires. And that's just saying from hard to mediums. Softs? Oh no, not happening. Not happening. That would be bad. But to say though, overall that's how I view the Dodge Viper Gr.4 at the end of the day, and it's a high fun car at the end of the day, but a bit stiff as a result of how I have to set that up. Although, again, I think if I mess with the weight balance just a bit more, I wonder if I would have got rid of the whole turning problem I was discovering. Just to say, the next car also does it too, so I'm going to be working on that one a bit more. Just to see if it does fix it or not. So I've been discovering some hickadoos and stuff in terms of some cars and stuff. Considering I figured out FS big time. I cannot believe it turns out it was that the whole time. All you have to do was stiffen this frequency just to make the car more roomier when it comes turning and not freak out while it's turning. On high power FFs, by the way. Yeah, ever since discovering that basically helps against tire wear a good bit, not a whole lot. I will say. Yeah, that's just how much the suspension frequency is tied to it. Yeah, now to just basically watch these guys as they tried their damnedest to get to me, because I know it's the rubber band just singing, trying to swinging them to me at the end of the day, but not happening on this one. I know Mr. Mamiya there is trying his damnedest to get to me. But when you have a car that does one sitting of the race, yeah, you basically just win. Okay, it's gonna be interesting when I get to the AI battles when it comes to 600 PP, because I'm just gonna say they're gonna have race tires on. So think of it as Gr.4 racing, just regular racing, but a little bit modified because they were balanced more in mines for 600 PP. Because I know for the Viper Gr.4 it's going to hit 655, but I do wonder about the others, how they hit when they get race tires on. Because it does change a bit. Considering I know I was definitely, on straights I was going faster with racing hard tires, but not surprised. Not surprised on that one. I just watch this competition go on in and such. Trying to think about other things to say besides, well, Plus Mod 3 and 4 is coming pretty soon. I am happy for that. And my stomach problem's not much of a problem anymore, so that's a good part. And did some bonus things here and there and stuff like that. And such. And that's kind of bit really to say. It's kind of been just a dull weekend besides, you know, the sun being a beeper, as the saying goes. Crunching in those 90 degrees every now and then. Although for this week, it seems to be rain. Nothing but rain. Which, to be honest, kind of good, but if it's just nothing but rain, that's not also good either. That's it. I guess to say, the crash progress is going along pretty good too, as I shown from last clip on Borderlands. I showed the Tomb one, Tomb Time I believe it's called. That I got that one done, and I'm up to in trophies side of relics right now for platinum relics. I'm currently about to deal with road crash. Wonder how well that's gonna go. Probably pretty bad. I had a pain with the one, with the first one, because I knew these were gonna be bad. Cause yeah, just to say, when it comes to doing Crash 3, I mostly just do it up to the gold relics, because you do need a resource requirement for the gold relics and such. Yeah. I love it. Give away for faster cars. Wait, who the heck's coming at me? As we look behind. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, just funny stuff. Very funny stuff. And yeah, unlike the previous 600 PPs, I'm not going to drop out immediately. I'm going to drop out at the end, as I kind of should. In respect. So, yeah, here's the final lap. Just kind of funny at the end there. I can't believe there's still a puddle right there. Saw that. Yeah, that's just the fun part about this track. It also starts off wet, so you have to like be careful how you drive around the turns and stuff. Okay, just passing the Viper, don't mind me. Yeah, as I said, the enemy is like all the way back there. It's not happening. Heck, if anything, I guess I consider this more of an S rank. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to consider A rank in sprint for D rank, because I'm just gonna say I'm probably most likely just gonna type this out at the beginning there and just save the trip. But I'm still kind of just conflicted at the end of the day. It's like, on one end, it's superbly good for stuff like this, and if they do another one in the future, which they haven't, of course they haven't. Now instead, they did a garbage one-night race for Pojo 2008. Let's show the manufacturer's colors, yay! Not like I could check the premium store to see them. You know. So say. But that basically wraps up for this race. That's basically a straight up victory there. I mean, even if they're pulling like faster times, like 210 there, I can still get you at the end of it by longevity. I'm gonna get you that way. So here's the next car for the next episode, people. So I'll see you guys all next time. You guys take care, and thanks for watching. And if you want to list Super RZ Gr.4. But see you guys next time. Take care.